this one is also rather, this one says, I hope this message reaches you and is giving the necessary attention. Yesterday around 5:45 p.m., we heard a loud sound similar to that of a bulb bursting. Upon investigation, we discovered a bullet had struck the top of a car parked within the premises and then landed in front of our doorstep. This incident was extremely alarming. Naturally, we are deeply concerned about our safety. We have no idea where the bullet came from or who in the area might be in possession of a firearm with live ammunition. This raises serious questions about the security of residents here. We are unsure whether reporting this to the police will lead to a thorough investigation or any meaningful action. That said, we feel this matter is too serious to ignore and we are seeking guidance on the best way forward. Please let us know what steps can or be taken to address this issue and ensure the continued safety of everyone in the vicinity. After speaking with a few people in the neighborhood, it seems others have experienced similar issues. It has entered someone's room and even appeared on another neighbor's doorstep through the ceiling. This is Dansoman around Mascot Hotel. Best regard. This is basically this is very, very close to my house. I'm worried, but I think the best course of action would be to report this to the Dansoman police station, because although you say you do not have faith in them, they have expertise in these matters. I think they can, if they see where the gun fell, they can perhaps figure out where it came from, check who did what. So I think your best course of action is to bring in the police. Perhaps they might, because they would then have the authority to even ask other neighbors whether they've seen this, then they can properly address the matter. So I share your concern in this matter because it's a very busy part of town, and for this to happen around 5:45 p.m. because even the hotel itself is an area where a lot of kids go for swimming. Yes, it's a very popular swimming joint for the youth in the neighborhood. That is, most of them will tell you that is where they go to swim. So if you have bullets dropping from the skies at a place where you have a lot of kids, and
the people fire gun for fun.
And that's what I'm saying. They need to report this to the police, because if you know the area they're talking about, directly across Mascot is Day Spring Montessori School. It's a 5-story building directly. There's Faith Love Lyceum, 2 streets away. That's another school. There's a very popular washing bay, a street after this hotel. Now, on the same Mascot Lane is perhaps one of the most popular eateries of Batampa in the neighborhood, also on that road. So there is cause for concern, especially because there's a school. Because imagine if this had hit the roof of the school at a time, because 5:45.
Students may still be
exactly. Because I would have said, okay, somebody's firing warning shots, but it doesn't seem to be a one-off. Okay, it seems like there've been a couple of incidents.
Says a bullet went through their roof.
Their roof as well. So, and they sent a video. So I think what they need to do, our best advice to you would be, look, involve the Dansoman police in this, and then maybe they can escalate it with the CID or some other division that has the expertise.
This is your neighborhood. Can you tell whether there are security cameras along the stretch?
Well,
some public security cameras.
Yes, they installed these traffic
monitoring cams.
No. They did the security cams at certain intersections. So I think some of the intersections do have it. The main
on that stretch,
26 Gadgesburg Avenue lane. So from Exhibition Roundabout to the Mascot Junction, the Mascot Hotel Junction. The right will take you towards the Kamara side of town. The left joins you to Banana Inn, the main road. So there should be one of those. But he says they have lodged a complaint. So you just need to follow this up. Hopefully the Ghana Police Service in Dansoman take action on this. Justice and your people, please get to work on this matter.
And then also your municipal chief executive would also have to get a grip on
yes. And interestingly, I had a very fruitful conversation with Mr. George Kwakwalute last week to try and catch up on what is happening in town in Ablekuma West, where I live. And I spoke to him about how it had changed, the congestion, the filth that has engulfed the area, and it's not just my area. Caleb has the same concerns. So
Yeah.
I guess we can segue into that
Yeah.
based on the conversation I had with him.
Yeah.
He also expressed his concerns and shared his ideas. He has very good plans about what he wants to do in the area. So this is also something that Mr. Kwakwaluti this morning you can add to your table. People are firing guns in the area, so you can push the Dansoman District Police Command to go and deal with the matter. But definitely, we had a conversation about something. And
Before that, let me just make
Yes.
a quick comment. We're just looking at the photograph that came in.
Yeah.
People who are in this situation, it is important that you preserve
the evidence,
I don't want to call
the
it
integrity of the scene.
integrity of the scene, the locus in quo, as lawyers normally say, because there's a trajectory that would have originated the bullet, right? Investigators normally take some of these things into account as to trace where the bullet possibly was fired from. You understand? So it is important that when you see something like that at your doorstep, take a photograph of it on the floor, preserve that place, don't lift it up, don't pick it up. Call the police in to come and do the needful. Because we have a situation where people are normally lifting these casings, and sometimes there may be evidence that may be on the casing that the police can use their forensic expertise to be able to establish who may or may not have been responsible for firing the same. So instead of lifting them, take photographs of them
Okay.
on
Leave them
the
where they are.
surface, leave them where they are, calling the police. You can always fence the place
Okay.
with something and then call the police.
Hopefully, the police will
Yeah.
attend to these with dispatch.
And what I wanted to add,
Yeah.
first, were you saying something?
No.
What I wanted to add was, so I had a conversation with the MC,
Yeah.
and we spoke about how Dansoman has changed.
Charlie.
You know, growing up, Dansoman was
For the better?
no, and so he is looking at. He was thinking about how he can
Regenerate the city.
regenerate Dansoman
Yeah.
and get it back to its former glory. Because as for the glory, is gone. You know, Dansoman's glory is gone, and there are a lot of areas. So we're talking about the original homeowners of Dansoman. A lot of them have left.
Wow.
The original owners, a lot of them either have rented out their properties or they've sold their properties.
Wow.
Most of them moved. Most of them became the original settlers of East Legon
Okay.
and other places. But now those
Which is
places
also
too
now losing
are
its
gone.
glory.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
everybody is moving further in, and it's not like the situation is changing
Yeah.
because back in the day I used to know who collected my refuse. It was Liberty Waste
Okay.
for a while. Then I think it got rezoned without nobody told us it had been rezoned. Then suddenly it stopped. I haven't had an official waste collection company in my house for 10 years.
11110.
Yes. And I live in proper Dansoman. And I'm sure a lot of people who live in other places, I don't know. So it is these tricycles that everybody complains about who have now created a niche for themselves.
Yeah.
They come and collect it, and I guess maybe they've been subcontracted by the municipality or some collection company, we don't know, but they do that, and we don't know where the refuse is going. We don't have lights. There's overpopulation everywhere.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
People are selling everywhere, as always, because people must earn an income. But like I was telling you, where the road on which I learned how to ride a bicycle and play football,
Yeah.
I cannot, my daughter cannot do that because there's a brothel there now. So it is not possible for her to walk down that road. It's not possible for her. After 6 p.m.
People are saying.
Yeah, by 6 p.m. both junctions. If I move my car left, right, I'll be stopped. They'll be negotiating price.
So you see, essentially, what we have been talking about this morning, if I distill to them, the teams have run the course of justice delivery. We've talked about security. Security has come up. Last week we mentioned sanitation, and Godfrey, you've just added that to it. Job opportunities for people has come up, and then congestion is a big part of all this. Now, if you put all of this in a big pot, imagine that by 2025, with the numbers we have now, our population is expected to shoot up to 52.5 million people. So you have a current population of what? About 30.8 million. This was 2025. In 2021, we were 30.8 million. Now we understand we are 35 million. And the question on my mind is, what deliberate measures are we taking, not just to solve the problem for ourselves now, but in the next 25 years, where we're going to be 52.5 million? If we are overwhelmed by our sanitation problems today, and if it takes hours to move from one point to the other, congestion, only with a population of 35 million in 2025, I don't know how we are going to be living in another 25 years. How our security situation will be if we do not have functioning, security cameras everywhere that work on their own to help check the congestion and the indiscipline question that we have on our hands. Because as much as we do not have all the infrastructure to accommodate everyone, you have a housing deficit of about 1.8 million units that we do not have. So where are all these people living? And you have more people moving into the urban areas. If you don't have a functioning security system, who will gather evidence? And citizens are tampering with evidence because then perhaps police are not moving in on time, or whatever the situation is. How are you going to contain these in another 25 years when population would have increased and job opportunities would have been slimmer? Because as we are told, where Godfrey used to play, where he learned how to ride bicycles, today other people have created a job opportunity, quote unquote. That is not something that is desirable. You didn't want your kids to even get close to. So I don't know, but when I listen to the politics, it's a lot about seats, who did this, who did that, and I'm not getting the futuristic ideas that will help make the city more livable. For example, what would it take for us to have trams and railway lines to reduce the kind of congestion we are seeing on our roads? We are not having that conversation. It seems to be a daydream. It's like you're playing where you're asking for these basic things, but these should be basic.
Yeah, but it would.
And we should start work towards them.
You see, Nana, my friend sends a message and says he's a personification of the Exodus. Says Dansoman to East Legon, and now he's thinking Cape Coast.
He's tired of East Legon.
He's tired.
Cape Coast is expensive.
Dansoman East Legon. He wants to go to Cape Coast now because he can't do anything with the city anymore. But you see,
crazy.
Sky and Kaka, the problem I have, and I think it's self-imposed. Yeah. And this, you made the point, politics has done this. When we decided to chop up Accra into what it is and other places, see, now the development plans of Ablekuma West are different from the development plans of Ablekuma Central. And they are separated by a roundabout. Half of the roundabout is central, half of the roundabout is west. So if you were putting a tram through Ablekuma West to say Ablekuma South, perhaps the path that you would choose, Ablekuma Central at that point has decided to build
something else,
a shop. So where would the tram expire? You see, so we have just not created the environment where there can be seamless integration of development now. So like where you live, that part of town used to be a part of town that had A, B, C, D. The plan to grow that part of town now has changed because people have put up factories there. The road going there perhaps was supposed to be a certain kind of road. Now it has changed trajectory to a road that nobody can even complete. Certain kinds of schools would have been planned to be there.
Yeah.
But now, because nobody can drive in and out of that area, he would have had to make arrangements to move the kids perhaps into the middle of the city rather than to stay at home, because if they stay home, they can't go to school. See, and that is just the kind of dysfunction that we are experiencing. So now we have somebody who lives at Spintex and their kids attend school at Nima. Look at the distance.
Yeah.
It's not normal.
Yeah.
So where did you grow up when you were growing up?
Oh, different places.
Primary school. Let's talk primary school.
Okay, so I grew up
Because
in
your father
Nkoko
was moving.
at some point. Yes,
Okay,
in
you might
Nkoko
not be
at
a
some
good
point.
case
Yes,
study then.
I'm not.
Adenta.
Adenta. Did you attend primary school in Adenta?
Yeah.
Okay. I grew up in Dansoman. I attended primary school in Dansoman. Secondary school took me elsewhere.
Right.
But when most of the people I attended school with my classmates were all Dansoman people.
Yeah.
It was rare to find somebody who was coming to Martin de Porres school when I was attending Martin de
From
Porres.
Spintex.
From Spintex.
Yeah.
Or even from Kaneshi.
Yeah.
It was hard. Everybody came from around. And I'm sure, okay, you went to where everybody would go to school in one or two places, right? The same. Is it still the same?
Well, no, because of a number of issues.
Yeah. So everybody is moving. And that dynamic has changed. So you're talking about schools, jobs. Everybody is crisscrossing. Making life more expensive. So that somebody who lives at Kaswa and works at Tema and has to sit, doesn't take a train to work.
Charlie car. Trust.
I was in Kaswa last week, Charlie. I saw that traffic. Caleb, you suffered though.
It's crazy.
No, I was going against the traffic. Those who were coming.
I was
Accra.
not even at Casa, I was at McCarthy, so it was not as bad.
I've always. The people who live in that part of town, my full
They
respect.
deserve some tax breaks.
I stand up for them.
It's tough. It's really tough. And you see, it goes to, besides the infrastructural challenges or limitations that we have, we seem not to be addressing the indisciplined part of many of our compatriots also. Look, if you're moving from one point to another, the kind of indiscipline that people perpetrate on our roads, it will increase your distance by twice the time you are supposed to spend. So if you're going to take a 10 at a traffic intersection and you're just in your lane and you decide not to use another lane and cut in, bro, you could be there for another 30 to 45 minutes and you're watching people, whether they are people in V8s, just drive past, or sometimes police officers or your fellow civilians. People are just driving past you, cutting in, and nothing happens to them. So much indiscipline. And right on the streets, while you are in the traffic, you are burning fuel and all, someone has unzipped and they are just releasing, other things right in the space, and people are just offloading rubbish. I mean, I don't get how we are organizing ourselves and living our lives. And I'm imagining this in 25 years once again. I'm increasing the numbers. And I'm saying if we don't deal with the indiscipline now, and if we don't put in the measures to expand the infrastructure and increase opportunities, crime rates will increase. Justice delivery will continue to suffer. Already you are telling us that some of the courts, the structures that we have for them are not fit for purpose. So we are sitting on a ticking time bomb, really, and we don't have to be tickling ourselves and laughing, because the real deal will explode in our faces very soon.
I agree with you and the concerns that you have raised, and we've raised these matters ad nauseum, hoping that the people who matter will take a decision on them. Except that even when there are changes made to who should be in power and who should not be in power, nothing changes in terms of how the overall outlook of the city is seen and what makes the city function. You can't seem to really get your head around that. Because look at it. I mean, we had an administration that failed at many things in forming a decision to put them out. Then we brought in a regime we expect to reset many levels of our national life. Now, one of those critical areas is what you're talking about, the general outlook of the city of Accra, the city of Kumasi, Ho, Tamale, and all of these places, so that there's some decency, some dignity around how and where we live. But unfortunately, I mean, people might say it's too early, but it's been 8 months into the life of the new administration. And if we are going about, we are resetting everything, we should be seeing a sense of urgency in how we tackle matters having to do with indiscipline on the roads. We should see a sense of urgency in how we tackle the huge rubbish that we see engulfing the city of Accra and beyond. We should see, robust efforts to tackle criminal activity across, the country. But it would seem that very little is happening. The big ticket items that they seem to concern themselves with is how to hold the cedi, up against the dollar, which, they seem to be doing a fine job with, according to the experts. And then also matters having to do with, okay, we are investigating this person and the other. But you see, democracy, with the greatest respect, should mean, a free people living in dignity. But if you look at it on many levels, I don't think that we have any dignity around how we are living. Because last week, Friday, I was going to Tesano. The road from Adabraka right up to Tesano, you find rubbish all over the road. It's as though someone woke up one morning, decided that, look, I will collect rubbish from Akoto's house and then distribute it along the road to, our place in Tesano. I mean, no city worthy of its name should have that kind of thing. That you have plastic bags, you have tomato peels, you have, orange peels, banana peels, all of these things lining the road all the way to Tesano. And it is not because someone has gone to, sprinkle these things there. It is because for some reason we are not collecting them, or there are people sitting in their vehicles throwing things out and nobody is sweeping the streets. And this is not just an Adabraka to Tesano issue.
Yeah.
Across the entirety of the city, it would seem that we have neglected how to care for the city. And you see, that is where I identify with you the concern you raised about how we decided to cut up Accra into various parts and share it to people we believe are party men who are sitting down doing virtually nothing.
Do you know that the AMA office is not under AMA, where the AMA is seated?
Why?
It's Clothing.
So they are tenants.
They are tenants here. When you check the map, the AMA office is not.
You see, I want to
in the
believe,
AMA
and I want to
office.
submit respectfully, that research should also mean, in appropriate cases, putting Accra back together, putting Kumasi back together, and all these other municipalities or cities that we have cut up, putting them back together and enforcing the laws that matter. Because, I mean, what is the use putting 10, 15 people in offices? They are playing no role. All they do is to go into the office, come back, attend this funeral, attend this, and draw salary. I mean, who runs a city like that?
No.
Nobody runs a city like that. That will not take us anywhere. We have a city of Accra, 3, 4 million, 5 million people.
Yeah, fine.
We have go to London. It's a huge, vast. It's huge. Millions of people live there. But there's one word, mayor, who is responsible for the day-to-day running of various parts of the city of London. Of course, they have their boroughs, they have their councils, they do the things they have to do. But what have we decided to do here? We have cut the thing up.
The work is too hard for
My good friend Pakua Lote is running a part. Somebody is also running some
quota.
Basa Bisa. I respectfully say that the President of the Republic, if he really wants to leave a legacy, this is his legacy term. If he wants to change something, I think the time to do that is now. If that includes putting them back together, which is what I am for, that should happen. And let's see some real action, because the multiplicity of MCEs is not helping us in any way. Kakra.
I just want to add, and I think as my colleagues have expressed, especially Sky, there's a certain lax or failure on the part of the local authority or law enforcement. And so that creates a certain gap, which is everybody doing whatever pleases them. If I'm driving and I have some rubbish in my car, I just leave it on the traffic light at American House and hope that, the assembly will come and deal with it. I am pointing to a certain civic irresponsibility. Okay, the fact that local authorities, law enforcement are failing to do their job or are unable to do their job does not mean that citizens should also act as they please and take matters into their own hands. There's a certain responsibility that citizens must equally show. I think increasingly there's a lot of indiscipline all over. You can't drive 200, 300, 500 meters and not see, some litter along the road. And we need to act. We need to be responsible citizens. In as much as we demand, from the governors, we demand that laws are enforced, we demand that local authority does their job. We also need to play our part in this whole governance as citizens, as responsible citizens, to be mindful of our actions, to be mindful where we are dumping refuse, to be mindful how we drive, to be mindful how we even, exercise some of our rights. For instance, massing up when people in high-profile positions are arrested. Can we not organize demonstrations to demand a cleaner city as citizens? We can do that for politically exposed persons or high-profile persons, but we can't do that. We can't do that for our own interest. They will very well. If they share money and you take that, we are all living in a filthy city. I think we need to reflect as citizens. Yes.
Let me bring in some messages that have come through. Caleb, I agree with Godfred. I stayed in Dansoman. Sanitation in Dansoman now is very bad. People lift a whole poly bag filled with refuse and dump it into gutters. Andy sent that from Dansoman Atomic Bus Stop. Dansoman Children's Park used to be a place where both kids and adults could hang out. The former MP did a renovation of the court and locked it up for some years. There used to be swings and trees where you could just sit and have fun. Well, I've registered for Zoom Lion this year. They've come mostly once a month to pick refuse at Fafraha whenever they feel like it. Yet on the first day of the month, they give a bill of more than 170 cedis. This August, they haven't come. Eddie sent that from Fafraha. Hi, Caleb. I shared the thoughts of Godfred on the show this morning about Dansoman. It's really sad, but I plead with the AMA to take a serious look at Ablekuma Central, specifically Latabi Okoshi around Kwame Nkrumah Flats towards Radio Gold, Salvation towards Kolebu. People are just putting containers on the pavement where we used to have huge neem trees that used to adorn the road and served as windbreaks. It's really terrible.
The place he's talking about, it's been turned into, it's a very popular bar now at the junction. But you know the place, 2 junctions before your side. It's a bar. People go there to enjoy themselves. Then
what is this thing about every small space we see, we for do some business there?
Yeah, we can't let the space alone. We must make money with every space.
I don't get it.
And it creates congestion. When the assemblies are trying to decongest, then we
becomes a problem. Caleb, anyway, let me finish the messages for you.
Please.
Okay, it says it's about time we categorize major suburbs in Accra. Dansoman, East Legon, Jolu, etc. can have their own mayors and city council officials. In Ghana, the decentralization politicians talk about is on paper. Guys, my question is, have we a society through morality and culture of excellence in the gutters? Those two are the building pillars of every society. All the discussions you have this morning centered on our culture of excellence to do things and get them right, as well as our discipline not to swindle our neighbor or treat them wrong. What have our older generation done in this respect to ensure that this is instilled in every Ghanaian?
Thank you very much, Godfred.